with Greg James Designs, and this is my trusty sidekick.
I'm Rachel.
And what are we talking about today, Rachel?
We're going to talk about Barndominium basics.
Okay.
And a few things to consider if you're thinking about building a Barndominium.
Mm-hmm. That's good. So I got thinking about this, and I thought, let's just start at the beginning. Barndominiums are a big trend, have been for a few years now, but they're really a big trend now. I started this almost 4 years ago. I was a general contractor for 30 years, did design, build, construction, commercial, and residential, and got into designing these Barndominiums. I had no idea it was such a massive demand and trend for these. And so I thought, well, let's just go back to the basics. Why build a Barndominium? Why not to build one? Obviously, if you're tuned in here, you're curious about Barndominiums. What is a Barndominium? I mean, some people have just heard the term and just like, well, what is that? Okay, well, that's a good question. So what is a Barndominium?
What is a Barndominium?
What's the difference between a Barndominium and a regular house?
Well, a Barndominium is a metal building.
Right, and it can be constructed in different ways, right?
Yes, there's many different structures that you can use.
Mm-hmm. What are the three main structures? This is a test. Let's see if she's
It's a
paying
test.
attention.
Well, there's bolt up, right?
Okay.
There is a weld up.
That's right.
And
One more.
there's post frame.
Yes.
So
You are rocking it. Way to
Awesome.
go. You get an A. So, okay, so let's get serious for a minute. So, okay, you're obviously fixing to make a big investment. You're going to build a house. There's no small investment building a house, no matter how big it is. So, you're thinking, well, is this an option? It may or may not be. First, Barndominium basics. Should you build one? Okay, let's dispel the myth right away that they're cheaper than a stick frame house. Not true. I'm currently building 7 of these, six of these, and I have not found them to be cheaper. Okay, now cost is a very subjective thing. We work with people from east to west coast, north to south. We work with people in Michigan, upstate New York, Texas, you name it, California, Arizona, New Mexico. You can almost all the states, and so cost is a big variable. I mean, you go in one part of the state, it costs you $200 a foot to build a shed. You go to Texas, you build it for half of that. So it just depends on where you are. So cost is a very subjective thing. So don't get hung up on the cost so much right now. Focus on the important things. Should you build one of these? Does it fit your vision for what you want? And since we're talking about basics, Rachel hit the nail on the proverbial head. You're dealing with metal buildings of some sort, okay? So first of all, do you like a metal building? Because you're just dealing with a box, okay? You're putting boxes together. You're on the design side, your geometry is going to be more simple for the most part. Now there are ways to really make these buildings pop. You can use organic elements such as cedar, redwood and stuff on the exterior in certain places. You can use brick, stone, veneers, wainscoting. So there's a lot of ways to make these buildings really attractive. This particular building has a very steep pitch roof. It was specifically designed to have more of a modern look. So thus, all black. FYI, all black. You may like it in a photo, but I will tell you it shows everything. All the dirt, any imperfections in the substructure. Black is just, boo, it just sticks out. So be aware of that. But it is beautiful, okay? So basics, should you build one? Well, you're just dealing with metal buildings, okay? If you're okay with a metal building, that's great. I have found in 4 years of doing this now, there are about 3 main reasons why people like these, okay? One, they love the no maintenance exterior. So it's all metal. Don't have to worry about ever painting this thing. A metal roof will outlast an asphalt shingle roof by 4 times. The average metal roof is about a 50-year roof, okay? And so depending on the colors you get and that sort of thing. So you get no maintenance exterior, you get a far superior roof, it's going to last you a long, long time. Really the only weak point in the metal roof is the fastener, the screw. So if you're using traditional screw down metal roof, The only thing that can go bad is the little neoprene seal around the screw. Okay. Other than that, and the technology on those things are designed to last for many, many years. And so you got a roof that's going to last you 40, 50 years easy. You got a no maintenance exterior. Another reason they like them is big open spaces. Rachel is one of our design team members. She assists our client every day in helping them make decisions on design decisions. And so they love the big open spaces on the inside. That great big wide open, you know. With a metal roof, you're wall to wall because nothing's holding the roof up on the interior, so there's no interior supports to deal with, okay? Same thing on a post frame or steel building. All right, so point number 3, why people build the Barndominium and why you may want to build the Barndominium, maybe? So what do you think? What would you think point number 3 is?
Well, point number 3, we have multiple people with this request is that they need a space to put like their tractor or their tools, or they need a bigger area, you know, so combining it, and they need a man cave. So
man space. Combining
it with that in your living space,
absolutely.
I mean, why not?
That's probably the number one reason. They're like, Greg, we have a 68-foot RV, or we have a massive boat we need to put in it. So they have their toys, they got their stuff, and so they want a big place to do it, and there's no better way to get that done than either a big post frame building. If it's a really big building, I recommend a pre-engineered steel building. We'll talk about that later. But so they may buy a 8,000 square foot building and then only use a third of it for the house and the living space, and then the rest is all for their stuff. Okay, so hey, we all got stuff, and that's why. But that is probably the biggest reason people build these, and it's just, you can't beat for the price you get per square foot for just to put up a steel building. You really can't do that with wood. You can't get that big, you know. You're a lot of limitations on stick frame, and so that's it. That is point number 3. So
there you go.